If you're looking for a good upper body strengthening move while laying on your back, I've got you covered. Dr. Marcia here, your friendly neighborhood physical therapist, certified yoga teacher, and author of Movement for Everybody. Let's talk about the floor press. The floor press, or maybe chest press, is done on the ground, or you can do it on your bed, honestly. Just anything where you're fully sturdy and supported, and you push away. So, if you are an active weightlifter, you've been strength training for a while, you're a power lifter, oldie lifter, whatever, strongman, right? You might be better off starting this exercise at barbell and then loading up and programming it the same way you would think of your squats and your bench press and your deadlifts and whatever else, right? Your overhead press, and you're doing rounds, right? Maybe you do 3 rounds, 8, whatever. So, same thing. It's a compound movement. It just happens to be on the floor. Doesn't make it any easier. Still got a lot of things happening. So, in essence, you lay down. Of course, you don't have to lay flat. You could lay on a wedge and be at an incline if that feels better. That's fine. Your legs can be like so, or they can be straight. Up to you. I would prefer bent, but if straight felt better for some reason, I'm not going to stop you. Do what you want to do. But I would prefer bent because this is a compound movement, meaning a lot of things are happening in a lot of places. So your lower body is actually going to be pushing into the ground. The energy is push low body into the ground when you do your press. So your hands will start elbows on the floor. So you can be in tight and pressing up, or you could come out at the angle and press up, or you can be parallel with, in line with your shoulders and press up from there. And so you are going to squeeze. When the elbows are down, you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Even this starting position is active. And when you push up, the legs are pushing into the ground as you use your pec muscles and your triceps to push up. Okay? So, if that feels good, then that's when you consider adding weight. And weight could look like dumbbells, it could look like kettlebell, it could look like barbell. Whatever feels like a good medium. And so, if you're doing them tight, you might want to change the orientation of your wrist so you're in more of a neutral grip. So remember, when I'm down here, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades, and when I push up, I'm pushing into the floor. So the entire time that I'm doing this movement, nothing is relaxed. Or you could come elbows at an angle, so the grip can be whatever's comfortable. It might be facing down, or you might stay kind of that neutral grip, and you push the weight up towards the ceiling. Your arms will naturally come closer together. If you're doing it in line with the shoulders, then your grip, your wrist is going to be palm down. Doing it this way is just more than likely going to be awkward. So stay here. And also, if you get used to doing it this way, you can transition to using a barbell once it gets easy for you. So that is how you do your chest press. Now, you don't have to only focus on doing this to add more weight. You can do things to add complexity. So, for example, maybe I do chest press, serratus punch, lower down, tricep extension, right? I can make it a part of a combination of movements before I come back down. And so I don't necessarily have to think in terms of how much more weight I can add. I could also think in terms of how do I make the motion more intense on my muscles. So I could do this and say, this is easy. This is 3 pounds. Next time I'm doing 15s. Or I could say, let me add to it, right? The chest press, the serratus punch, the tricep extension, and then the full overhead, boom, and then come down. You can also play around with your speed. So you can add what is called eccentric lowering, which means coming down as slow as you can. And some people call that negatives. It doesn't matter. As long as you know what I'm talking about right now, that's fine. So you can go, try and be explosive on the up, and then come down slow. And my lower body's still engaged, my abs are engaged, my upper back is squeezing. So that is another way to add intensity to the motion. I'll do it again. So fast up and slow, slow on the way down. You can do this with no weight, your weights, your barbell, whatever you'd like. I push into the floor and fast up, slow on the way down. Okay? Another way to add complexity is if you're using kettlebells. So if you're using one kettlebell and holding it at the bottom, you're going to be forced to do elbows in. That's okay. If you're doing two kettlebells though, now you have choices because you can hold it here and now you have the added thing of having to stabilize and balance it. So this is not something you try right away with a weight if you're not comfortable with the weight. So if I do this regularly, let's say I have two, I don't have two, budget cuts, whatever. Let's say I do this regularly and I'm like, this feels pretty good, I'm ready to ramp it up. That is when you're going to say, okay, let me try this grip and do my chest press that way. Okay? Okay, and those are your options for doing the floor press. The chest press, whether you're using barbell, dumbbells, kettlebells, no weight at all, you can hold a pillow, who cares? You're doing the movement for you. And if you know why you're doing it, then I'm sure you're doing great, okay? If you have any questions about this motion or any other motions in general, feel free to drop them down below and make sure you hit that thumbs up so I know you like this video. It's very helpful for me, okay? Thank you.